Hey everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create this kinetic type animation in Adobe After Effects. This kinetic type animation is very easy and you can achieve it with two effects. So without further ado, let's start. Alright, so here we are inside of Adobe After Effects and now let's begin. So I'm going to click on new composition to set up a composition. And I'm going to call it design. The width and height is set on 1080 by 1080. The duration is 8 seconds, which is fine. So I'm going to hit OK. Now, on the next step, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go towards the type tool and I'm going to write the word devil. Alright, now let's go towards the align tab and let's align it to the middle. By the way, if you are missing the align panel, you can go towards the window and select it from here. Okay, this seems nice. And then let's just go get back to the properties panel. I'm going to extend it a bit. And then I'm going to duplicate this text and then I'm going to change the font weight to compressed extra bold. Extra bold. Let's see. I'm gonna decrease the text. Yeah, that seems good. So this is good. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna right click on the devil layer. I'm gonna create shapes from text. Same as the second layer. Let's right click on it and let's create shapes from text. And then I'm gonna delete these two layers because I don't need them. Now on the next step, what I want to do is that I want to create a letter morph animation as usual. So to do that, what I'm going to do, as you know, I'm going to use the crazy shapes to set up path keyframes. I'm going to set path keys on the first layer and then I'm going to do the path keys on the second layer. And then I'm going to select these layers. I'm going to press Ctrl+C to copy these sets of keyframes. I'm going to go towards 1 second and make sure you highlight the keyframes from the first layer. And then I'm going to press Ctrl+V to copy it. To paste it, I'm sorry, and then I'm going to delete this second layer because I don't need it. Okay, that is good, and let's go towards the 2 seconds, and now let's just paste the first set of keyframes to get a loop. So that is nice. But on the second step, what I want to do is that I want to create a stretch text animation when the letter morphs into this bold font. So to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to press Ctrl+R to bring up the ruler. I'm going to set one ruler in here and then I'm going to set another one almost in here. Okay, let's just adjust it a bit. That seems nice. And now what I'm going to do, make sure the timeline is set on 1 second. I'm going to select the keyframes and then when the mouse highlighted to this white cursor with the rectangle tool, I'm going to select these bottom points. I'm going to push it down. I'm going to hold shift so I can snap it. And then I'm going to select the top points and I'm going to snap it to the, to top guide. But as you see, I accidentally did it very poorly. So I'm just going to make sure that I only select the bottom parts. I'm going to push it in here and then top parts and I'm going to bring it up. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select this little point and I'm going to bring it a bit down. Okay, about here seems to be fine. That's nice. Now let's go towards the second layer. I'm just gonna select the bottom points of the E letter and I'm gonna snap it to the guide. Same as the upper parts. I'm gonna do that quickly. Now I'm gonna go towards the V. I'm gonna select the bottom points. I'm gonna snap it and then I'm gonna go towards the top points and I'm gonna snap the top points. However, I'm just gonna select these 2 points and I'm gonna bring it almost in here. Now let's go towards the I letter, same as the last letters, I'm sorry. We're just gonna quickly adjusting these two letters. All right, so we will have something like this, which is good. Now, as you see, the easings is a bit off. I'm gonna press F9. I'm gonna get back to the motion tools. And I'm gonna set the easings on 90%. Great. Now let's go to on 2 seconds and let's copy these sets of keyframes and let's copy and paste them to get a perfect loop. Great. Now we are done with our design. Let's just remove these guide layers. We don't need them anymore. Great. Now on the next step, we need to create a displacement map as you already know, the type of work I do usually ends up with the displacement map and the time displacement effect. And by the way, if you see this video is a bit challenging for you, I highly suggest you to check the older videos of me where I explain everything in detail. Now let's go towards the compositions. Now let's go towards the project panels and let's create a new composition. I'm gonna call it FX, which stands for effects, and then I'm gonna hit OK. Now I'm gonna bring the design. Now on the next step, what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna right click in empty space in new. I'm gonna select solid. I'm gonna call it displacement. And now for the next step, we need the Boris and Sapphire plugin, which you can download it in here. This is a really powerful plugin and I highly suggest you to download it. And this plugin is one of those plugins that I highly suggest you to download and get it, because it will give you some cool animations in just a matter of some clicks. So when you install the Boris and Sapphire plugin, you will have access to it by going into effects. And you will see that you will have a bunch of effects in here, which they are really impressive. But for this video, I'm just gonna add a texture folded. And as you see, as soon as I do that, we will have something like this, which is exactly what we want. So if I turn this displacement map off and I add the time displacement effect, and let's just set the max time displacement to 4, the time resolution to 250. And let's just change it to masks, and let's just set the time displacement layer to displacement map that we have in here. And now let's watch. As you see, nothing will happen because we need to change it to effects and masks. Now you will see we will have this cool effect. Now if we get back to the displacement map, if I change the frequency in here, and now let's watch, we will have this animation. So I highly suggest you to play with these parameters because it will give you really cool results. And as you see, making this displacement map, if you wanted to make it yourself, it would get quite time. You needed to add a few effects to achieve that, but having this effect saved us a lot of time. So here's our design. Now if we get back to the comp and we add a new composition as a final. So now if I bring the FX in here, now let's make sure that the displacement map is off, and let's get back to the final. And now what I'm going to do is that if let's reveal the design one more time, I'm sorry. So we will have this animation, right? And now the next effect that I'm going to add is again one of the effects from the Boris and Sapphire plugin. So I'm gonna add the rainbow glow, S-glow rainbow. So as soon as I do that, you will see that we will have this cool rainbow effect in here, and I can change its color in here. So I'm just going to do that quickly in here. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to add a new solid. I'm going to call it background, and I'm going to push it beneath the FX. And then I'm going to go towards the project panel, and I have a looped texture in here that I'm going to add it towards the final composition, and I'm going to set its mode on overlay. So now as you see, here's going to be our final result. And here we are. Here's our final result, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave out a like and subscribe to the channel, as it would help me out a lot for the future content. Thank you so much. Goodbye.